Welcome back to the North American Star League Season 3, Day 3, Division 3.
Game 4.
Week 1.
And Game 4.
And Game 4. TLO versus iS.Axslav. Very exciting game. Also exciting news, we've got a new switcher on the boards. Shout out to Kylie, the best girl Smash Brothers player that I've ever met.
Yeah, this is kind of embarrassing. We played Smash Bros at the office last week. We had our meetings, we had everything done. So we're like, all right, we connect the GameCube to the TV. And Kylie's like, yeah, I can play
Kylie
too.
walks in all cute and perky with her little, pigtails bouncing.
Like, oh, I love this game. And we're like, oh god, another one of those. Like, and then like actually,
we're like, sorry. Okay, the green button lets you like do your regular attacks. The red button lets you do special moves. And then Kylie proceeds to beat everybody in the office like 4 times each.
Yeah, and not just like by 1 or 2 lives, but like in convincing fashion. This was one of the worst gaming moments I ever had in my life. And I told her, Kylie, I like her very much, but I'll never
talk to me again.
I will never play Smash Brothers with her again. Anyway, guys, the next match is going to be in our last match of tonight. LiquidTLO versus Infinity 7 it is, iS.Axslav. Do we have the match sheet one more time? There we go. So I'm just going to fire up this replay. These two guys played this morning as well. Obviously, we do not know the result. But I am very, very excited to find out.
Predict a result.
Oh, yes, of course, we should do that too, Ben.
What do you think?
What did I think?
I forgot who I picked.
I know.
It was a very hard choice.
Yes. I actually, before I'm going to introduce these players, we're going to talk about this. Yeah, Ben, I think both these guys, what I want to say before the break, are known to be very, very creative. In the beta of Starcraft II.
Yes, I know where you're going with this.
Yeah, in this beta of Starcraft II, TLO was a true innovator. He actually invented a lot of strategies, what everybody remembers, or at least I remember, and a certain European Terran as well, was the Colossus Speed Warp Prism Harass on Metalopolis. TLO was a really creative player, and iS.Axslav in Warcraft 3, he was not an absolute top-notch foreigner, but he was a really, really creative guy, and he played so different than anybody else. In Warcraft 3 there was not much room for creativity, but iS.Axslav, yeah,
he filled that space.
He filled that space, and he got away with stuff that we considered impossible, but he beat very, very good players. So
Warcraft 3 iS.Axslav was Starcraft II TLO?
Yes, that I think you can say it like that. But TLO has been more successful in Starcraft 2 than X ever was in Warcraft 3. But still, you can definitely make that composition.
I'm excited for this matchup. You never gave us a choice, a prediction though.
No, so yes, I think it's going to be really close. It's hard to predict, but I'm going for the slight underdog, I'd say, and I'm going to pick X.
Okay. Yeah, we actually discussed this last night. We discussed it this morning. We discussed it at lunch today. This is one of the harder matches to call, I feel, because I just think they're so evenly matched. If it were ZVT, I think TLO would be a heavy favorite because I think his ZVT is on another level because of how long he played Terran at a high level. But his ZVP to me looks to be a little old-fashioned. So I don't know. iS.Axslav does play a really good Protoss. In spite of that, though, when it's too close to call, I'm going to go with my Zerg roots and say TLO takes it in a very close 3-game series.
Interesting opening so far. X is getting cannon before Nexus.
Why is he getting cannon before Nexus? Because there was a very fast spawning pool.
Yeah, it was a 13 spawning pool. I kept my eyes open, Ben. No worries.
It was out, bro.
A 13 spawning pool with TLO. I kind of like that actually because it's so standard for Zergs to have to deal with this. And obviously the Shadow Temple is not a map like Daybreak or Cloud Kingdom where you just make your turret a little bit further away. Because if he wants to right now take a turret base, he's going to have to take it all the way over here, and that's just super, super risky against so many things. So I kind of like the 13 spawning pool from TLO.
Cool. I'm eager to see where he goes with it. Often off a 13 spawning pool, you see something like a 15 gas and some one-base roach stuff behind it. TLO not going that route. He will be expanding.
A little bit sloppy by iS.Axslav, something that happens to every Brothers player a lot. You block a natural and you forget to rebuild that pylon when you know that it's about to go down, so he's going to be supply blocked for the full 25 seconds.
I really worry about this building placement by iS.Axslav.
Yeah,
I think TLO can just kind of work his way around the outside, but those Lings are more concerned with killing rocks than they are with killing bases right now.
Maybe TLO is the Warcraft 3 player after all, and he wants to creep a little bit.
Okay.
How cool would it be?
He'll be very sad when he gets up there and sees no mobs to kill.
If your links like get like +1.
You level up.
They level up.
Level up and get
turn into an ultra.
they get adrenal glands before lair. Oh.
After killing all these rocks, they get fight training, man. It's like experience. It's like they went to the gym. Do you go to the gym, Ben?
I do.
Why do you go to the gym?
Why do I go to the gym?
Yeah.
So that I can knock out your teeth.
Why would you want to knock out my teeth? That sounds stupid.
Well, I mean, there's a reason.
Is there?
Yeah, but we can't talk about it yet. Next week. Next week.
This sounds fishy.
Suffice it to say, you'll want to be a subscriber at the end of the year.
We'll see.
No, I mean, I would never actually want to knock out your teeth. I say that, you know, trying to sound tough, but I just want to.
No, you're a big bear inside. Big, lovely bear.
Just want to put a couple bruises on you.
That's okay.
You know how it is.
That's pretty much all you can do anyway. Oh. So we see X getting quite a few probes. TLO is just taking out the rock. So he still has 3 bases up pretty quick, by the way, despite this being the Shadow Temple. 6 minutes, 3 hatches.
Yep.
That's as quick as you're gonna get it.
Yep. We have to remember that in this version of the map, the rocks die faster because they have less armor. So that's one of the things that allows TLO to get those hatches down faster.
I wonder how I feel about that change.
I'm not sure either. I'm eager to see how these games play out, quite frankly, across the course of the season.
+1 is on the way in this fort, but X didn't really give away what he wants to go for yet. Maybe a little bit of forget pressure as well, as we saw Mana do several times against Vibe. It's a pretty popular playstyle nowadays against Zerg, just to find out really what's going on. TLO, by the way, one of the guys with absolute the best creep spread in the business, or at least in Europe. I mean, I can't really speak for every Zerg worldwide because I do not know them. European-wise, without a doubt, one of the best Zergs creep spreading. And I also love this band straight away. Like, just get those overlords in a nice line. Get one here on the top. And also, they're not even that far away, so if he would play against the Phoenix opening, he could still retreat with most of them.
That's a good point. That's a good point. It definitely covers things like drop paths in case iS.Axslav tries to do some sort of warp in play. Looks like iS.Axslav's going to be doing some sort of 4-gate build, maybe akin to what we saw on Antigua Shipyard from Mana.
Or actually on both maps.
Third base. Yeah.
Yes, and that's exactly how it looks like. 2 pilots on the way for X, so not really a lot of action yet, but he is actually dropping his first pilot right now. And we've said this before. Ooh, X, that's not a good idea. We said this before, it's so important when you play against strategies like this that you snipe the probe, something that Dimaga managed to do against Hazorps. TLO picks up this probe. If he picks up this pylon, it's massive. Even if he doesn't pick it off, it's still pretty good because it's the closest pylon, which is still far away from the natural.
Looks like he's not going to spot it. Well, maybe he will. Those lings. Oh, they were shift queued to go up there, but then they saw that.
Zealot.
I don't know what they saw.
The Zealot. They were hungry for blood.
Okay.
They wanted Zealot blood.
so
Overlord does spot it though.
X is going to warp in some Zealots. TLO's got roaches popping out. This isn't going to work real well.
No, this is not going to go well at all. TLO is at 59 drones against 47 probes, and he's actually not going to take a lot of damage from these Zealots at all.
Yeah,
I don't think he's going to lose anything.
Yeah, he'll lose some turtles. +1 is of course done. Those roaches, or I'm sorry, those Zealots are going to chase these drones up into. I'm going to kill that tumor. Oh, he does get the tumor. Smart. But we've got roaches popping out very, very soon. With him, TLO's going to be in great shape.
I mean, iS.Axslav, of course, does get a great scout off. Picks up one with tumor. He's really keen on killing tumor. It's like the fourth
That's so annoying when that happens.
TLO should micro his queen.
Queen, TLO! Oh, bummer. So loses a queen. So going to lose a second queen in the third.
So close.
Barely keeps it alive. TLO still has 2 queens out, so he can manage those injections. He's got a lot of active tumors on the map, so he can keep creeping.
I do feel that was about as good as it's going to get for those Zealots.
Yeah, I think so too. That was an ill-fated attack. And that it killed anything at all is
But that's why this creep spread is so important. It makes it so much harder for those kind of attacks to come as a little bit of a surprise. TLO saw it coming way in time, of course, because of these Zerglings as well. And look at the 10-minute mark, he's already closing in at the Selnaga Watchtower.
Yeah.
That's even having to deal with a strategy like this, that's really, really, really good.
TLO is going to go work on that pylon up there. iS.Axslav took a third base behind this. But TLO's already taking down those backdoor rocks.
Yeah,
and
so big
on
too.
75 drones, he can just start attacking, Kev.
Find this pylon as well on the right side of the map, so really, really nice for TLO. Doesn't have to worry about that one anymore. And as you pointed out, this is 75 drones. This is such a healthy economy. Roach speed is almost done. Forces 2 cancels and 2 pylons. If I were X, I would drop 3 gates here with 3 cannons behind it and a sentry.
I gotta say, I like that iS.Axslav's on double robo right now. Immortals are going to be instrumental in staying alive through this big roach phase. Because TLO's definitely showing us a Stefano-esque style here. He's just making lots and lots of roaches. He's got the Infestation Pit and the Spire down, already getting hive at 11 minutes and 30 seconds.
Yeah,
so
but why not, Ben? It makes perfect sense, because he had that Overseer scout, and he scouted double robo. And when you scout it and you see that he's just warping it in, you really do not have to worry about the series push until up to the 14-minute mark, and then you can have Broodlords and Infestors. I mean, this is kind of how Tifo plays against Terran. Tifo, a Polish Zerg player, not as famous as Nurcho, but very good. He loves doing that, gets Broodlords ridiculously quick against Terrans that are not aggressive. And if you get a scout off like this, you see Protoss, okay, he wants to take 3 bases, he's on double robo. Getting quick Broodlords seems to be like the way to go.
Yeah, it's an effective play style. We've seen some European Zergs catch some Koreans off guard with it because it's not very common in Korea, at least not at this stage of that metagame. But yeah, so TLO is closing in on that Hive tech. He's going to be able to start his Greater Spire as soon as the Hive finishes. Of course, if you start your Spire at the same time as you start the Hive, they will finish together because it's the same build time.
We talked about this the other day. You got the 3 gates, 2 cannons behind it. Gets a couple of Stalkers right now, so perhaps he's aware of this fact. The fact that there's quite a bit of an army over here.
Axslav is really working off of a limited number of units, 40 army supply. He's going to be relying on good positioning and building placement to keep him alive until he can get some real heavy-hitting stuff out. He is researching Storm.
That's really interesting because he made double robo, but he barely
really
used it.
Yeah, he's made
maybe because it got scouted.
One immortal and 4 observers. I really like that.
Yeah.
Really like that. Observers are so key.
But the problem is he didn't scout the main base yet. So he knows about pretty much everything that...
Except for the Hive timing.
Yeah. And about the Spire. Then again, I wonder even what he's going to do if he spots his Spire right now.
Man, TLO obviously doesn't talk to the Maga.
Why?
Main base.
No, he has 2 Spires next to each other.
Right next to each other. But there are 2 spine crawlers there, so it's not like a Zealot that's going to be able to
I like that a lot actually.
That's
Such a small investment, but helps out a ton against a Warp Prism drop like we saw in the previous game between Vibe and Mana.
Right now, TLO just sort of posturing. He's got that great economy. He's starting the Corruptor production. He's not got a whole lot of gas, but as we said, Axslav's army is sort of small. It's 72 army supply right now. Stargate's down. He's working towards Mothership, I would wager, since he's making a High Templar.
I mean, I think he's so sure that he's gonna have to deal with spies. Yeah, he actually scouted it right now with one of the observers, so he knows what he's facing, and I think it makes perfect sense for X to play like this. Oops.
One of our observers.
Yep. As we pointed out, these 2 guys did play this morning as well. As we mentioned earlier, Sen and Ganzi played live today, and other games were played today, but not live.
And, well, Axslav finally moves out of his base. This is just to take a 4th.
But of course we are live.
Of course we are. Always live. You will never see us pre-recorded, except for our news segments. We record those.
Ooh, nice little counter by TLO straight away when Axslav is out of position, forcing a cancel on these pylons and picking up a few props.
Love it. Love just the map awareness and the activity.
But it makes it so easy when you have this creep threat that TLO has. Look at this! Look at his vision, man. It's almost disgusting.
And Axslav's got a respectable army, but TLO has got so much more. Broodlords are out. Roach and Fester. This hatch, very well made die, but TLO doesn't care. He's gonna get a whole army.
He's gonna try to do what Jones saying. He's gonna actually try to pick up this forge, and he will pick up the forge. Axslav doesn't have many units over here, but this is not enough.
What a brutal counter. This is gonna force Axslav to send back all of those robo units. Losing the forge hurts. He's gonna lose a handful of units here, but what he's really losing, Kevin, is time. Because while all this is going on, TLO's making more Corruptors. He's getting that Broodlord count up. A few Stalkers gonna make their way up into the 3rd base of TLO.
I like that. I like that he
lose this.
I really like that he retreated with the expensive unit. Oh, but he should be so careful. Fungo Grove. Beautiful
down.
Fungo by TLO.
Yeah, all those units are now going to die. Force field is going to go down, but that's not going to change anything. The sentries all die. A handful of Stalkers blink away, but the sentries are what you really want to keep alive.
X tried to get this 4th base for such a long time, but TLO just doesn't let him. Mothership is on the way right now, and he's getting Colossus, which I don't think is a bad idea right now. Like, just getting a few Colossus to deal with Broodlings, you know, it's good, it makes sense. He has a lot of High Templars too. I wonder if he's going to keep a few for feedback, or if he just wants to get them all for Archons when the Mothership is out.
Axslav needs to be careful about being this far out.
This is a very weak army against Broodlords. Yeah. Super weak.
If he gets caught by some fungals, yeah, but he is, I think, finally going to back up. Just killing all these tuners, which is nice. It's good to deny this vision of TLO, and finally we can see the minimap going a little bit dark as he backs up there. But look at TLO, man. He's got, right now he's got 7 Broodlords out. He's morphing 2 more.
And he's
also making 11 drones. I think that's just going to be for spines.
Yep.
Or maybe it's for mining. I don't know. We'll see. We will see. TLO is maxed out. Axslav closing in on a max. Also, Mothership, she's about 40 seconds away.
And I think it's going to be ready in time, and this army of TLO is looking really scary. But 9 Broodlords, 25 Roaches, that's kind of how I like it. Maybe the infested count is a bit low, only 3. But I still think that X is going to have one hell of a time dealing with his army.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. His Stalker count is only 23. He's got a couple of Colossi. 5 Immortals are going to be really good against the Roaches.
I like how he's adding a Void Ray now, because there is not that much anti-air.
Yeah, makes sense. Makes a lot of sense, in fact. Roach is going to continue working on the third base of Axslav. Is his army able to get back in position in time? Yeah, I think it will. So these Roaches will swing in. I'm going to pick off some pylons. They're just going to get out of there. So TLO just doing what damage you can and then leaving.
Yep, nice multi-prong aggression right here from TLO. Just being active with his army one place on the map and then attacking with the Roaches on the other side and even keeping most of the Roaches alive. X did pick up this hedge over here on the left, right side of the map. Kind of missed that. TLO is going to try to do something with the Roaches over here. Nice blink by Axslav. And the mothership is out now as well. That's really, really what he needs.
TLO saw it though, so now he knows. His response is probably going to be to build a bunch of Corruptors, and yes, there we see it. A ton of Corruptors going down on the production tab. 8 Corruptors immediately.
I think TLO played a great game, but I think he could have been more aggressive from time to time.
He's been a little passive. Axslav plays a passive style as well. And TLO just kind of said, okay, you do your thing, I'll do mine. But I mean, certainly not over yet. This is a formidable Protoss army, and TLO's got to get the engagement just right if he's going to kill it.
Yeah, but now, I mean, it was looking super good for TLO, but now I feel that X is going to get a ridiculous Protoss army. He's having how many Void Rays on the map right now? Oh, okay, only 2, but one more is on the way. He's going to have Storm, he has High Templars, he's going to have Archons. This is pretty much the ultimate Protoss army.
Yeah, all he's lacking is
carriers.
Yeah, a couple carriers. He's even getting a Warp Prism added in, which I love. Dark Shrine would really be the icing on the cake for some nice...
I hope he uses different High Templars for Archons, by the way. That's exactly what he does, because he had so much energy on these. It would be a shame for more of those bad boys into Archons.
Mothership
oh, this is a scary army, though.
Oh, well spread, Broodlord. Storm's going down, blinking forward. Is Axslav. Storm's going down on the Broodlord's interesting Vortex. Doesn't catch a whole lot, but these Stalkers really shredding through the Broods, and Axslav getting a great fight here. Axslav remaxes before TLO. 190 supply for the Protoss, 170 for the Zerg. A couple of wow, those Broodlords are very stacked up. Ouch, very expensive loss there for TLO, who is now at 150 supply against a nearly maxed out Protoss player, remaxing on Corruptors and Roaches with very little gas to spare for new Brood.
Yeah, he didn't get that many Broodlords, but he got like 4 or 5 or 6 in the Vortex, and once more it was kind of this same Vortex as how Tyler used it. Well, just zoned out a lot. TLO had his units very, very well spread out, but it's still a pain to deal with Vortex. He's going to lose these Corruptors as well. This is just why I felt like he's fighting a superb Protoss army.
Gave Axslav too much time, and this is not an army that a Zerg player is very capable of dealing with. TLO knows it, so he's going to start counterattacking, working on this 4th base of Axslav. But there's just no answer to the Protoss ball right now, Kev. I don't think TLO can do anything.
TLO microing gets a couple of Zealots in his main base. These Void Rays should be able to clean up these Roaches, not before they get quite a few Zergling kills though. Probe kills, of course. These Zerglings getting a few probe kills as well. But I would even say that's okay for Axslav. He doesn't need that many probes anymore.
It has to be such a frustrating game for TLO, who's in such a great position for so long, but unfortunately, didn't seal the deal, didn't hit his timings, and now it's looking kind of grim. A bunch of Corruptors are going to come work on this mothership, so...
Ooh, might be able to pick it off using Corruption as well. Very cute blink. Oh, he's just got a Vortex.
Vortex is the Corruptors, which, interesting choice. Roaches and Lings are going to go to work on this Stalker Forest. Broodlords in the back, there's just not that many of them, and I just feel like TLO's moves are too little too late, as Axslav's army still just doesn't dwindle.
There were 2 Archons in that Vortex, but he didn't kill that much. He's going to lose the Mothership right now, though.
Yeah, Mothership's going to fall, but Axslav doesn't care. He immediately starts a new one, makes a couple more Archons back home. He was able to save that 4th base. He's since taken a 5th base, and I mean, this is it's an ironclad position for Axslav. It's a position every Protoss player wants to find himself in.
See if 2 Archons are able to kill 6 to 8 Roaches. TLO trying to avoid the splash damage. Cute micro between these 2 guys.
I guess TLO just kind of showing off a little bit, because the game it looks to be firmly in hand for Axslav. It's definitely his game to lose right now.
He's not showing off. TLO's a believer. He never gives up.
He definitely has the will of fire.
Yeah, he's one of the most dedicated players outside of Korea, he might be.
And he's managed to rebuild a pretty substantial Broodlord force. He's got 6 up. He's got 4 more buildings, so 10 Broods. I'm just giggling at Chance because he's looking into the window into the production room. He's sad because he got left into the studio. The studio's a little chilly right now.
Of course, for the people who are watching the first day of the new season, we have an official mascot this year. His name is Chance.
The esports puppy.
The esports puppy, the awesome German Shepherd, and he gets very sad when his True owner abandons him, even if he's just standing behind the wall. And as long as he's here, then chances I for us again. He's like, okay.
I think as soon as Axslav gets this mothership out, he is going to push once again. It's going to line up pretty nicely with his +3 ground army, or ground armor, I should say. TLO is basically pure Broodlord Roach right now. He's got a couple of Corruptors in the mix. He's got one Infestor.
It's funny how awesome from time to time both guys play, but now like X is just playing unnecessarily passive. Yeah, maybe he just wants to wait for the mothership. I guess this makes sense. There's not okay. There's not wrong. Never mind. You know everything I just said. No sense attacking without a mothership. Why would you want to get fungled and lose everything?
Yeah. Maybe he could have done more with that last attack, but you're right. Falling back for his mothership is probably it probably makes plenty of sense. So
it's just not that exciting.
It has given TLO some time to reposture, and it will allow us one final fight. But I have to feel like the writing's on the wall. This Protoss army is pretty nasty.
Couple of Zerglings trying to go for a small run by a hold position, probably being used by TLO, but Axslav is right there with a pretty nice blink. He's going to kill most of these Zerglings. They will be even more annoying over here in the left top since there's only a single cannon.
TLO just going to do the old run around. I guess this is a late game scout. What can you call this? He wants to kill the Templar archives? I'm not sure. It's probably not going to result in much. Kill the fleet beacon! Wow, if he did that, that would be cool. Because
he might. I think he will.
If you can do that and then pick off the mothership, then maybe TLO could make something happen. Archon's going to come one-shotting wings 2 at a time, but not going to matter. The fleet beacon does fall, so nice moves.
Instantly remaking new one now. Let's take a look at the army. We have 5 Immortals, 4 Archons, 3 Void Rays, 4 Colossus, and 22 Stalkers against 13 Broodlords, 12 Roaches, and 3 Infestors. That kind of seems like an unfair fight.
I have to agree. I think the Void Rays alone could kill that Zerg army.
Oh, I was talking about the 12 Roaches.
Of course you were. The 4th expand of TLO once again going to be picked off, and Axslav walk up here, check, see if there's a 5th. No, there is not.
It's a little bit risky with those High Templars tracing his army.
Interesting going up that ramp. It puts him in an awkward spot. There is energy for Vortex, though.
Nice thing.
Picks off the Corruptors.
Good swarm those Broodlords. What he does. He wants probably to get a feedback off on those Infestors.
And here we go. Vortex is going to go down. Catches only 2 Broodlords. TLO microing this as well as he possibly can. Void Ray really doing good work. TLO making it a closer fight than we might have originally predicted. He's still in this thing, man. Morphing more Broodlords right underneath it. Blinking forward are those Stalkers. A lot of fungal going down, and now the Broodlords are really getting in the mix, but there's just... What can kill the Void Rays?
Nothing, actually.
Nothing can kill the Void Rays. Not that it would matter, because the Stalkers and the Colossi are doing a good enough job of cleaning everything else up. The last of TLO's forces are falling away. GG out of LiquidTLO, who manages to lose that first game. Axslav brings it through. He's up 1-0 right now.
Pretty surprising, because it looked so good for TLO for such a long time. I think his start was good, the way he handled. I liked his 13 pool opening, made perfect sense on Shattered. I think this was an unnecessary lose. Certainly when he first spotted that the mothership came out, I felt he could have gone right then. Okay, still his Broodlords had to travel the map, but when he saw that he clearly had a superior army, I think he could have gone for it.
I think he could have done more with his army before the Broodlord tech was even in play. He was able to max. Why not trade a little bit, right? I mean that's what Stefano does so well. Is just trading units when he hits that point. But not the way it went down. So nice play out of Axslav. Good job of hanging around. That game was, of course, brought to you guys by Kingston HyperX.
Getting a little sick, man. It's been a long broadcast.
Yeah, man, me too. I went and got a massage today, and like my muscles are all loose, and now I'm
massage.
Yeah, dude, seriously, it was like the most legit massage. This lady had like my legs tied up in knots. It was like putting me upside down.
Was it Anita?
It was not Anita. It was not Mickey.
Was it not Mickey?
Her name was Tiny.
So.
Like really, that was her name.
What was the name of the massage? Double Japanese?
It was a Thai massage.
Just the Thai massage.
Yeah.
Don't we all love those Thai massages?
She roughed me up a little bit, man. She was like putting her elbows in my back and stuff, grinding on me and stuff. But it was good. I felt all relaxed.
Grinding on you. That sounds pretty good.
Oh God, that's not going to be taken the right way. All right, guys. Quick commercial break, and when we get back, Game 2 of Axslav versus TLO. It's Chance eating a snack.
Smart.
Man.
What?
That Chance is going to like you more.
Chance already likes me more.
That's so messed up, dude.
He totally surrendered today to me. He was like, "Oh, Roti, please pet my belly." Chance loves me, man. Does love me.
Chance is awesome. And before we... Hey, get off the desk, bro.
Chance wants more.
Seriously, he's like trying to take stuff. Hey, Chance.
Chance is like our boss. Like he's like running around. He's like,
there he is.
Making sure if these guys are still doing a good job.
No inappropriate jokes, guys. I'm watching you.
He's,
okay. We've got our game up. Let's get in game before we get too distracted.
Oh, Chance did a good job. So iS.Axslav versus TLO. The second map will be played on Daybreak, and I'm going to introduce these guys to you as soon as we've seen them. It's still, despite me predicting that X was going to take this series, still pretty surprising to see him take that first game, because it didn't look that good for him for a long time. Also, I was surprised by his opening, like 16 Forge and then Cannon before Nexus.
Yeah.
It was a little bit weird, but he got away with it. And I'm very curious to see how he's going to play on Daybreak. I'm expecting once more a pretty passive style.
I think we'll probably see... Yeah, that's kind of how iS.Axslav plays. He likes to sit back, and he likes to get to that point in the game where he's got that ultimate army. It's much like we see Mana and Hasu play.
Well, yeah, I was about to say, would you call him the North American Hasu-ups?
Yeah, it's not unlike that in the least. The big difference, I would say, in iS.Axlav's play is he'll mix in a really wonky cheese every now and then. And you very seldom see Hasu do that.
Hasu never, man.
Yeah.
Even though maybe like if we ever going to see Hasu cheese, I feel that it's gonna come soon, because Hasu is so mad lately.
What is with that, Dennis? If you're watching our broadcast, why so mad, bro?
Dennis is really mad lately.
So every time he posts on Twitter, he's mad about something. Every time he plays a game, he's like, "Oh, that kid's so bad" when he walks away.
It's weird, because Dennis is like, I've got to know Dennis.
He's like a happy.
I think 7 years ago at my first tournament, pretty much, and he was always this relaxed guy who was like, "Oh, good," and lately he's so mad, like mad in a funny way, but he's just like, I don't know, it's not the same Dennis.
He might be mad for the same reasons I get mad.
Which is?
Receding hairline.
Oh. Anyway, we see TLO once more. TLO is, of course, our lovely German Zerg, Red Zerg, spawning in the left bottom side of the map, representing Team Liquid, currently living in Sweden.
A lot of people forget that he's German because of how long he's been in Sweden, but he is indeed. Dario Wunsch.
After you hear his last name, you know that he's... like
what is a Swedish last name?
Like Christiansson. Or Johansson.
Okay, yeah.
Hammer. You know how like Todd used to call Satan like wait, how did he call it? Oh yeah, Kim the Hammer Assassin. I thought it was so cool. I had so much fun with it.
Oh man.
Because actually I think it's a really cool nickname, like the Hammer.
The Hammer.
Yeah, Todd is a fun guy. Can't wait to see Todd at our Sunday showdown against Sen. I'm so excited for that match.
I was never a really cool guy, but when I was in middle school, I played basketball, and the coach gave me the nickname Iceberg. I thought that was the coolest nickname ever. I was like, I'm the Iceberg.
It's pretty cool.
It didn't stick for long, though.
Ben realized he was better at Starcraft.
Well, it just turns out I was really bad at basketball. So after the Iceberg got benched, it stopped being a cool nickname.
16, perfect saturation right now for TLO. Probably going to try to transfer as soon as this hatch is ready, of course, but he doesn't have that many drones yet. X has a small worker lead, but that's kind of standard for this phase of the game. TLO starts working on these rocks, or debris I should say. He's really having a fun time taking those things out.
Wait, debris? Oh, in the middle of the map.
Yes.
I was like, where's debris? I totally forgot about that. Little path through the center that can be opened up to make for a longer push, or a shorter push. But the ones that he's working on are actually on that ramp, widen it up for a wider choke. And, yeah, not really a whole lot to talk about, except for the fact that TLO is still gasless. That's a little bit interesting.
And X just scouted that as well.
Which probably says he's going to play... there's that third hatch going down, which probably says he's going to play what we've dubbed as Stefano style. There's an interesting discussion popping up. I think I saw it on Team Liquid where people were saying, why do people call this Stefano style? Zergs were maxing out on roaches a long time ago. Idra used to take his third base at 4 minutes. Well, yeah, you're right, but the reason people call it Stefano style is because he's the first guy to really win a major tournament with it. You know, he's the guy that's proven that it can be top-notch. If you recall, Idra went away from using that play style because he felt like he couldn't kill Protoss in the late game, where Stefano said, well, I can.
And he can.
Thus, Stefano style.
Curious to see how X is gonna start this game right now, because in the previous game on the Shadow Temple he went for that 4-gate +1, but it really didn't work out that well at all. It barely did any damage. He took out a few creep tumors, but that was pretty much it. So I kind of wonder what he's gonna do right now. He is getting a probe once more, but I feel this is a fake. I really feel this is a fake probe by iS.Axslav. He wants to give TLO the ID that he goes for something similar, while he actually doesn't at all.
That would be really smooth as he's throwing down a robo up in his main base, which I think adds even further validity to that argument.
Maybe a Warp Prism all in? No, he's taking both assimilators right now, so I think he's just gonna play maybe a standard style, get a Colossus out, and then secure another base.
Maybe he's gonna try to take a super fast third and hold it with Immortal. That's something we've seen Whitebot try to do, and I think that's in fact the direction that he's moving.
I think it's so risky. As we saw, like with Vibe against Mana, if Protoss takes such a quick 3 bases, they are so handicapped. They can't move out at all for such a long time. And A, it's hard to hold if Zerg all-ins, and B, if they don't all-in and drone all-in, basically, you're still behind. Yeah, like a drone all-in, not just drone only.
That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it makes sense in my books. It's like either you all-in to base, or you all-in...
What does #FF mean?
Force follow.
Because it makes sense in your books?
Yes.
Roddy Books, the only books that matter. Get yours at Amazon.com.
Where functionate is a word.
That's right. And Mount Everest is 5,000 miles high.
I never said that. We see a nice surround actually by TLO. He might be able to pick up. No, very nice micro by iS.Axslav.
Gets that Stalker out of there just in the nick of time. But importantly, TLO is going to scout this third base.
Yeah, that's it. That is still a pretty massive scout. Might be able to pick up a probe. Nope.
The response is 12 wings, so 18 lings.
Yeah, he
might try to punish this with the Zergling only. That's
which is, in my opinion, the better of the two things that could have happened for iS.Axslav.
Yes, I agree.
Even though he's supply blocked right now, and he really can't afford that. But well, then maybe he can actually warp in a lot of units when he needs to. Because I really feel what I meant with drone all in is just like all in on economy. Just go a ridiculous amount of drones. Creep spread, because you know Protoss won't move out.
Yep.
I think that X has a better chance winning this game by defending than if TLO would have played a super economic style.
No, TLO still hasn't necessarily committed to it. He made these lings, but he might yet change his mind as he's taking out this debris in the middle of the map.
Yeah.
But he's taking out the debris in the middle of the map.
And he's making 5 overlords, man.
Which it says he wants that supply for a bunch of roaches. Either that or he's just really upset about that supply block. That's something Stefano does too. Oh, but there it is, 11 roaches. Whenever Stefano hits a supply block, he just spends all the money he has on overlords. Alright, so 11 roaches coming.
I really like this by X. X has a pretty good read right now. He makes a ton of cannons, but he has to worry about his natural too. This is something that Protoss players often forget. And TLO is actually working on this right now already. It's going to make it harder for iS.Axslav to force it up.
I like this move by iS.Axslav too. Putting that pylon at the top, he can add cannons up there, which will give him a little bit extra.
But I actually think that's something he needs to do.
Extra defense.
Army supply is 52 against 23 right now, but if iS.Axslav holds on a little bit longer, he might be okay. He has sentries, and if there's any...
it's all about the force field, it really is.
TLO slowly but steady goes back to droning.
Gateway cannon?
Here I think X is pretty safe. I would have loved to see one more cannon over here, but doesn't matter.
TLO not going to get anything done attacking into that third base. If he's going to go in, if he's going to make it happen, it's got to be up here at the top of the natural.
No cancel on that first gateway, so at least some damage done.
Actually, those force fields are perfect. He's going to force TLO with disengagement. And that went very, very well for iS.Axslav. He's got plenty of energy for more force fields. He's got a second Immortal out now, and Roach pressure's not going to work. Now TLO says, all right, I've got to take a fourth, but look at the income tab.
Yeah, the same amount of probes as drones. That's perfect. Might end up losing 2 gates. Oh, nice force fields there by iS.Axslav.
Great force fields. There's no burrow or anything like that. Not even the roach speed. One more force field.
He should be able to get it. No, he doesn't get it.
Still, iS.Axslav's going to be fine with the state of this game. He's at 110 supply to 150, but that's...
The problem is, I don't think iS.Axslav knows how fine he is, unless he played this scenario a lot. Nice force fields once more, but the sentries are all in the front, so he's going to lose a few of them, but look at the amount of gas he has of those quick 3 bases.
Lord,
that's it.
Immortals kill roaches so fast.
I would love to see 1 or 2 cannons here.
TLO does decide to go around and start working on the third base. He's going to kill a gate.
Come on, don't send all sentries. X, leave 1 or 2 behind.
Yeah, that's definitely a mistake. But he's got 3 cannons up now and almost a full wall. So
1 Immortal would be so good.
Yep.
TLO putting on a lot of pressure, but he's just not able to break iS.Axslav, so X really not underreacting with a ton of cannons, and that's exactly what he needed to do. Oh, TLO, I'm not sure. This is 5 cannons. Yeah. He's going for multi-prong.
Yeah, we'll see. iS.Axslav's going to have to split up his army perfectly. He's got units in his natural and units in his third base, and it looks like a pretty solid defense. He's got the Immortals down there on the low ground.
Nice force fields. points on 5 roaches.
Yeah, great job force fitting out those roaches.
Now TLO is going really back to drone and making 14 drones at once. But if we take a look,
late, TLO.
Yeah, take a look at the unit loss resource stat. 3600 loss against only 1500 for Axslav.
Look at the army supply now, Kev. It was double for TLO. Now it's even.
Yep.
And
no, beautiful defense by Axslav. It's really not easy to not be caught off guard. But that's why when you feel that your opponent is putting on a lot of pressure, which I already said before the game, I feel that was the better of the two things that could have happened for Axslav. TLO?
Miss rally there. Yeah, and TLO just he misplayed that situation. We saw Vibe did the right thing when Mana went for the fast third, and TLO did I think maybe the wrong one. I can understand wanting to do that kind of aggression, but
it can work. It can work if you're really quick on it, and if the Protoss player underreacts. Because often Protoss is even greedier. Like, okay, I'm going quick 3 base. Maybe he's droning up, so I'll have 2 cannons. I'm fine. Like, no, you really need very good building placement, so you need to make it easy for yourself to have good force fields, and you need a lot of cannons, and Axslav did everything of that. And of course the way that TLO decided to play kind of played in Axslav's hands, but I must say an A for execution for Axslav.
Also, still good on TLO, he's never stopped teching. Oh my god, those force fields, beautiful force fields there by Axslav. Traps a lot of roaches, and TLO's supply dipping heavily, all the way down below 140.
Units lost. It just keeps climbing for TLO. TLO's gonna try to do something. Yes, actually gets a big run by. That's pretty freaking awesome.
This could be the defining moment in this game. There are Colossi out. Well, actually, Axslav works in a bunch of Zealots up in his main. And, Zerglings are Axslav, you gotta micro, man, send those Zealots back. And if he finally does, Ling's on hold position, going to kill a handful of probes, but it's not going to be enough. Meanwhile, Axslav on the warpath, pushing through the center of the map.
Yep, this is a pretty scary army for TLO to deal with certainly right now, because he wants to save time for that Great Spire. But with 18 roaches, so many sentries. Take a look at the army supply right now, 92 for Axslav, 83 for TLO. TLO still has a lot of stuff, and he's going to force a cancel on this Nexus. I'm loving how active TLO is. No cancel by Axslav.
Yeah, he does have a reputation as being a fairly low APM player, so maybe the multitasking stressing him a little bit here, as he is just going to continue to push TLO with another run by, this time up into the natural, but the Zealots are there.
Yeah, there is a Colossus.
Yeah, so that's probably not going to go too well.
What the hell, this was...
Axslav, meanwhile, closing in on that 4th base. TLO trying to get some units out, but I don't know, man.
It's going to be really tough for TLO. Roach taking some damage. Spycrawler working. Well, this doesn't really matter. It's Sporecrawler as well. Maybe picks up the Observer. If anything, that helps at least a little bit. And yes, already another Observer. How many?
All TLO can make are Roaches, Kev, and that's just not... Roaches aren't going to work against the army that Axslav's got. The 4th base is going to fall. TLO continuing to counterattack. Maybe if you could force some kind of a raise with this sort of a Roach counter, that might be one way back into the game.
The economy is just a little bit too sick for Axslav. He has 83 probes. He can really afford to lose probes. And as you mentioned, this is a very good anti-Roach army. Certainly an anti-Roach army without tunneling claws. And no barrow either, of course. Maybe the Broodlords, but TLO just doesn't have the economy right now to support a really scary Broodlord army.
Axslav going to bear down on this 3rd base. TLO going to try one final great engagement. He's got units on all sides. Maybe with an awesome surround he could do something. Roach is coming from behind, but Axslav with great force fields takes out the 3rd base. TLO just can't get an engagement surrounding everything. He's going to kill a few sentries here. Roach is still pushing forward, but the Immortals just too much to handle. Great play by Axslav. We'll try and take a second look at this one after this game. Awesome attempt at a final engagement by TLO, but it's not going to happen. GG. And Axslav takes it 2-0. Good call on that one, Kev. He was in fact the victor, so beautiful play. Wow.
Cool day, man.
Yeah,
cool day.
That pretty much buttons up our day.
But we're not there yet. We still got a couple of awesome things ahead, so please don't tune out just yet, guys, because we gotta go.
That's right. I think we're gonna kick it to a very short commercial, and then we're gonna have our closing remarks.
Stay tuned. Stay tuned.
We're gonna try our new replay functionality when we get back. So stay tuned for that. It's gonna be pretty sweet.
And exciting.
So don't go anywhere. We'll be back. Blah.